Okay, here I am, live. I need to know who's watching and how is all the audio coming through, and share this to anybody who might be interested. I need interaction in the chat, otherwise it might be kind of boring. So, welcome. My name is Chad. I am a channel. We are a channel that likes to make stuff. So today we're going to try something a little different for me anyway. We're going to be making a toy. I don't know what that toy is, but I need some suggestions on what that toy could be. I've got a few already I wrote down, but I do need input from the chat. So yeah, I'm here in Virginia. It's 10 a.m. I think it's like 7 in California, so 10. So it's central, it's 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock is mountain, and then 7 o'clock in California. So hopefully you guys are awake by now. A lot of my family and friends are in Montana, so there's mountain time covered. I'm in the military, so I know people probably in all time zones right now. So yeah, do we have anybody watching? I do really need some input. So I'll take a drink of coffee here, and I'll get my board out, my whiteboard, and hopefully we can start writing down some ideas. Okay. I've been putting together my little shop studio here a little bit, so I've got multiple cameras now. Hey, Colonel Lane, how's it going? All right, so switch my camera to overhead. Huh? How cool is that? All right, so I've got some toy ideas here. I've already written down. There's Mr. Lane's. He wants the chicken pecking toy. I thought that was pretty cool. I guess I'll try to describe it. Where it's a paddle, and it's got these chickens or pigeons on it, and they're all standing around chicken feed or whatever they would be eating. Hey, there's Spalding. How you doing? Spaceship or a rocket? Okay, I can write that down. Spaceship. Okay, I like that idea. Getting some good variety here. So the chicken pecking toy has these strings on a weight that hangs down underneath, and the strings operate the chicken's head. So like as you swing the paddle around, I can make a picture. Okay, so if this is the paddle, and this is my hand. Okay, you got these little chickens here. That's my chicken. Okay, the chicken head bobs up and down, so there's a little hinge here, and there's a couple chickens standing around the chicken feed. All the feed, there's like 4 chickens, and then there's strings that hang down, connected by a weight that's right here, and that string goes up and over the top of the chicken. So if there's weight on this string, it holds the chicken's head up. But as you swing the paddle around, this weight swings back and forth that way and that way. So it loosens and tightens this string on each chicken, and then they just sit there and tap, and the wood against the wood makes a little pecking sound. I thought that was kind of cool. My only concern is it could be a little complex for the time that we have here. I am planning on doing this all morning, so it could get along. I don't expect anybody to basically sit through the whole thing. So if you want to duck out and check in from time to time, that'd be cool too. It would really help me though if you do duck out to just kind of leave the stream running. It makes me look good on the YouTube algorithm. I hate saying things like algorithm, and it just seems kind of cliche to talk about the algorithm when you're talking about YouTube and store, because only creators care about that. Like the audience probably doesn't care. So anyway, it would help me if you just left your stream running if you did step away. Okay, so that's the chicken pecking toy. Okay, you got a spaceship. I've had a request for a truck, a tractor, a horse, perhaps a small rocking horse. I don't know about that, just because I don't want to make something that, I don't know, invites liability. I don't know. It's kind of weird to say that, to worry about making a toy that could hurt somebody, even though it's years and years old. I think we're in a different time now that we have to really protect ourselves, but I wouldn't mind doing that. Anyway, so the spaceship, you know, we can go anywhere we want to with the spaceship, because you can take whatever's out there or take whatever's in your brain, and either way it's right. It's a right answer. Because, you know, who's to say that you don't have the ideal spaceship in your brain? Here, for example, do something like this. I'm just making random shapes. And it's a spaceship. No, nothing to do with the Star Trek Enterprise. So let me hear, is my voice coming through all right? I need to know that. Or I know I've got some music on in the background. I've got it all turned down on my computer, so I don't have to hear it through the microphone. Is that too loud? So let me know. Also, what else we got? I'm going to throw an idea out there of my own. When I was little, I remember my grandpa had on his TV an exploding outhouse. If any of my family's watching, maybe you remember that too. But the outhouse exploding is something that I always played with. Exploding. So basically, there's an outhouse, as you'd expect, and it had a door on it. The outhouse kind of went like that. It had a slanted roof. But when you open the door, it blew up. So like all four sides were, and the roof were a separate piece, and they fit together, and there was on a base, kind of like that, and it was just the front door, or the front wall, and the door that was permanently affixed to the base, and inside of it was a mouse trap, and you'd set the trap and you'd run a little trigger that was attached to the door. When you open the door, it had one contact point with one of the walls, and all the walls have a contact point with each other. So when you let the mousetrap loose, it flings that one wall up, and all the walls are kind of resting on that one wall, and just go boom. And it was fun, because when you put something on a shelf and it's got a door or a button, people want to open it or push the button, and voila, you have a mess on your hands, and a nice surprise. So that's my one idea. Any others out there? I have made a tractor before, and it's upstairs. I do have a truck, it's right behind me. Okay, this is a laser design. I didn't make the design. This is literally the first thing I ever made with the laser. So this all came out of a flat sheet of cardboard. There's that. I mean, we're not going to make that because it's already designed and made, and the paper hit play or hit print on it. Okay, any other ideas out there? Okay, I want to get straight to the design phase as soon as we can. So if we can, any votes out there for any of these? I want to hear from you. I did post on Facebook to see if there's anything out there. Let me check that real quickly. No, it doesn't look like anything now. Check Instagram. By the way, if you are an Instagram follower or user, go ahead and check me out at My Army Exit Strategy. Yes, this is My Army Exit Strategy. Not making toys per se, but doing creative stuff as a business. It's also part of what this channel's about. Okay, nothing new on Instagram. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch the camera back to me. Okay, so the other reason I wanted to do a live broadcast was because I got this new camera. Here's the box for it. So you see how it moved? It's looking for me. So this camera, it selects this subject. You have to hold up your hand and it locks onto the subject, and then it tracks you. It's pretty cool. Look at it, it's not tracking. Maybe I unselected the subject when I did it. Alright. Are you kidding me? This is working perfectly. Okay, so I'm getting a green light. It says this lock. There we go. Okay. So here's a tour of my shop anyway. So yeah, got a drill press, a laser, CNC machine, stuff on the wall. But yeah, I could walk almost 360 degrees before it hits the stopper. Okay, so that's that, and then I can do this, and it zooms in to 50%. So there's no in between, it's just 50% or 100%. Okay, not seeing any chats out there for votes on what we're going to build. I do need some input, that'd be great. Outhouse sounds cool. Okay, I see it. I always like the toys that moved and did stuff. Okay, that's one vote for an exploding outhouse. Anybody else? Or any other ideas? I think I'm going to give this like just a few more minutes so you don't start wandering off. Any guitar builders out there? This is my luthier cup that I custom designed. Also the shirt, custom designed. I think I put in the description a link to my Teespring page if you like this is not a drill t-shirt. I've also got, this is just a drill, and guess what? It's got a picture of a drill on it. So those are just kind of fun. Okay, I think we're going to move on and get busy designing something. I think I can do an outhouse pretty quickly. And when I say pretty quickly, a couple hours. Okay, let's do an exploding outhouse. It's the only vote we got. All right. Well, let me ask you guys in the chat, are you guys a maker yourself? Do you consider yourself a maker? That's anybody who makes anything. It doesn't have to be woodwork. It can be leatherwork, it can be 3D printing, sewing, cooking, whatever. So yeah, let me know if you would like to explore any of that on this channel. Okay, we've got 4 folks watching. Right. So, okay, let's go ahead and get into designing an outhouse that explodes. Here's my paper. And the pencil. I think I would have prepared. I got one around here somewhere. There you are. Okay. Gotta make sure the camera finds me whenever I move. Okay, so I guess we'll go back to the top-down view. Get back to my... Okay, drafting 101, or negative 101. All right, so we know we need a base. We need 4 walls. and an explosive device, in our case, a mousetrap. Okay, let's call the base. Let's see what I got laying around here. Plenty of scrap wood, so I can pretty much use, yeah, let me do that. Let's call it 6 by 8. Okay, and then the walls, you know what, I've got this stuff right here. Perfect. Okay, I got a lot of that. So the walls, okay, so if our base is 6 inches wide, 8 inches long, and we'll basically make a square, so they'll all be the same, 5 inches, 5-inch square. And if a outhouse looks like this, kind of want it to be tall. Maybe we can make it kind of whimsical. Nah, that would be too complex for what we're trying to do. Just rectangles. So that's about the proportions of an outhouse. So if this is 5, centimeters. So 2 centimeters equals 5. Let's do 3 centimeters. It's a 15-inch tall outhouse. You know what? That's too tall. So let's just do a foot. And that's too tall too. 8 inches, 7 inches. 7 inches. So 2 centimeters is 5 inches. 2.5 centimeters would be 7.5 inches. And that's what we'll do. So it's going to be this tall. Alright, so we need 5 by 7.5 inches out of these. Well, the front anyway. Okay, so the back might be this will be good. I can put this in the laser real quick. So let's make 7.5. Let's actually get this skinnier. I don't like the way the proportions were shaking. So let's call this 4 inches. And the back will be, the back wall will be 6 inches. Okay, so 6 by 4 and a 4 by 7.5. And then over here you get a slanted wall. 7.5, 6, or 4. Okay, of course we're going to need a door in our 5 by 7.5. Make that a 2.5 inch door. Check the chat here. Alright, so Pete says, I wish. I missed what you said I wish about. But, it says your dad was a great woodworker and carver, but The apple didn't fall. No, the apple didn't even fall in the same yard. I have a whole shop of equipment gathering dust since he passed. I am sorry about that, Pete. And it's something you got to do. Something you got to do on purpose is to get out there and first dust it off and organize it. Set it up so you can use it. All right. So I think that's pretty simple. So the other thing we got to figure out is the mouse trap is going to go inside and it's got to connect with one of these locks. So hold on while I get this mouse trap that's been sitting over here for about a year. Fortunately, there was no mouse in it. Okay, so here's our explosive device. So the theory is that when you open the door, this has to get released somehow. And then there's a contact point with one of the walls on the spring on the trap part. So when that gets released, it fires the one wall up and explodes the whole thing, because all the other walls have a contact point with the wall that's in motion. So I think it'd almost be easier to build the structure and then figure out what exactly is setting off the mouse trap. Okay. So as I look at my software that's running the live stream, I'm not getting the chats showing up unless I go to the running YouTube channel. But I also have a different one. That's not very convenient. Right, 4 folks watching. Okay, you know, I think I wasn't going to use the laser for this. I was going to do it all hand by hand, but it almost makes sense to model this up real quick while you're watching. So I'm going to do that. Plus, everybody likes watching machines work. Wireless keyboard. My password. Start a new file. I'm sure nobody wants to be looking at the back of my head or the back of anything else. I have to move slowly when I'm close so the camera doesn't lose me. Okay, great. So, okay, now if I want to show you the camera screen, it's not going to show you because it's tracking me. Anyway, I got the screen up with my software. I'm just going to put in some squares that represent our dimensions. For what we've already decided, we're going to have a 4 by 7.5 inch front wall, and in centimeters, that is, Alexa, what is 4 inches in millimeters?
4 inches is 101.6 millimeters.
Okay, so it's 101.6 for the width. For the height. Alexa, what is 7.5 inches in millimeters?
7.5 inches is 190.5 millimeters.
90.5 millimeters. Okay. So I'm going to try. Okay, trying to zoom it in. Okay, I'm supposed to zoom in. Technology is cool, but sometimes it does its own thing. Or it does the job too well. There we go. Okay. Alright, so this is what we start with. This is our front wall, tall, and then we'll go ahead and copy that and paste it. Now we'll make the back wall. Alexa, what is 6 inches in millimeters?
6 inches is 152.4 millimeters.
Okay, so that would be the back wall. Okay, and then we need the side walls, and those are going to be identical. Reverse. So we'll bring this out. So now we need a slope between the front and the back wall equal the side walls. Okay, you know what? I think that's a little too short, a little too extreme of a slope, so we'll just stretch that up to that wall. Okay, so now I want to take this node, because this is a shape is composed of nodes and rays. Nodes are points, rays are the lines in between the nodes. So I want to switch over to node mode. See that? I'm zooming in really close. It's really hard for you to see, I'm sure. I think I forgot how to move nodes individually. Edit nodes. So, alternatively, I'm going to make a shape that I'm going to just make a line here, and I'm going to cut it. So that shape goes from here to here. Now I'll just make it go all the way around. Okay, so now I just made a shape that I'm going to use as a cutting tool between that and that. So I will now subtract it. There it is. That's my right side wall. And then I will copy and paste that and reverse it to make my left side wall. Okay, there's our 4 walls. We're going to need a roof. We're going to need a door in here. So we'll make the door. That's going to be easy enough. Make it flat like that. Lines up on the bottom. So I want to get a little stylized with the wall, with the door, you know, to not be a perfect rectangle. Check, see if we got any comments yet. Okay. Hello, Irina. Thanks for joining. Okay. So yeah, if you are just joining, we are designing an exploding outhouse. So we're getting the dimensions of our building in light burn, which is what's going to talk to the laser and tell it how to cut. Right. So we could totally get stylized with the shape of this this door, but I think that's something I can do off camera. I just don't want to spend the whole morning running a live stream. This is kind of a build challenge, so I want to do this quickly. All right, so I'm going to make a copy of the door, because what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to select both, and then I'm going to subtract it. Okay. Now I got the front wall, and I've got the door. Put that back here. Try to line it up. So when the laser cuts it, it's going to cut out the door, and it's going to cut the door. Granted, this is kind of wasted movement if we're double cutting on these lines, because it's cutting this shape, and then it's cutting this shape. In fact, I will probably cut them separate. Now, the roof. I'm going to make it that wide. Let me just go ahead and paste. No, that's the door. Nope, go ahead and copy this. Copy the back wall, paste it. So that's the width, and then we just need this length, which is kind of tough to measure. Try to line it up. Normally I'd take my time and draft this out and just make sure I got the right angles and the right measurements that I needed, but we're just kind of winging it. Okay, so that's the size of the side of the food. Now I just need to cut it out there. I'm sure there is a way to find this with geometry, but you know, I'm just trying to do it quickly. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy that, paste it, like so. And then subtract it. Okay. Alright. So there's our roof. Try to get it lined up to 90 degrees again. roughly. Alright, so that's the size of the roof. So other things that we should consider are we're going to make a trim. So you're not going to be able to see the seams at the corners, and you just want to kind of have those to lock each other into place, because we're going to have the trim on the outside, then we're going to have the interlocking pieces on the inside corners, so they can lift each other off as they explode. So I think we're going to go ahead and just cut these out and play with them. If we need to make adjustments, we'll do that. So as I turn the laser on, it's going to get a little bit noisy, so adjust your volume accordingly. Camera track me again. Alright, crescent moon shaped window in the door. Yes, of course. Is there a standard thickness of wood you use in your laser? No, there's not a standard thickness of wood. Your laser operates off of two variables. One being the power that you tell it to operate at, and the other is the speed. So the more power and the slower it goes, you're going to be able to cut deeper, but it's going to be a darker burn. If you got this thin stuff like I have here, this is 3mm, and that cuts through a little bit. This is made out of 3mm stuff. You can get some pretty good detail. So you've got a cut and you've got a burn, so you can set it to go extra fast at low power, and it's just going to burn. Okay. So you also tell it whether to follow a line or fill in a shape. So like the shape of the words, that's kind of like scans on a printer. Now, so I'll go ahead and set up the first piece. Turn on the laser, and then I need to open the door and kick out my exhaust hose. Camera didn't follow me. There it goes. All right. So now I need to set up the laser. Let's start with the focal length. The autofocus, take the emitter. And that just sets the distance between the head of the laser and your workpiece. Okay. And then I'll move move up my rail a bit. I can wait. Okay, so now I've got the head of the laser set up at the start point of the workpiece. Okay, Back over here on the design software, I'm going to draw a picture of the square workpiece. So I know that's 30 by 30 centimeters, or 300 by 300 millimeters. This particular software, not that I know of, does not work in inches. So set that up to 300 width. So that just helps me set up my cut pieces on the software, so I know where the machine is going to start. Okay. 300, off that. So on this first cut, we're going to be able to get the left side, the door, and the front wall taken care of. Okay, now I got to turn on a bunch of accessories that operate alongside the laser. Those can be a little noisy. Not too bad. Okay, this shouldn't take long. So I've got the path set up to be 2 run, or it's going around each path 2 times. That was unnecessary for this. That's from a previous job. So now we're cutting the front wall. You know what? I completely forgot to put the crescent moon in the door. It's okay, we can go back and do it later. Alright. So I can. Okay, now we're doing the right side, the roof, and the back wall. Okay, here's our door. We're going to need to put a crescent moon in there real quick. Okay, right side wall, back wall, and roof. Here's our door. All right. We're going to need to put a crescent moon real quick. Okay. So with the crescent moon, we're just going to make a circle and cut it out, cut a chunk out with another circle. Okay, I'm going to turn these. Okay. So a simple, here's my door. I'll bring my door pattern up. Make a circle. In that red. Okay, now I'll copy, paste that. Oh yeah. we'll subtract one shape. Oh, not that one. Undo. No, not exactly what I wanted. Come on. There it goes. Okay. Can you see that? Not really. That's okay. So now, get our door. Set it up right there. Okay. Yep, I think that's right. Turn on the noise again. Yeah. So that should have been done in the first operation. Okay, so now we got our pieces relatively quick. Open the door, explode. See if I can put this together. Cake. Maybe I'll switch camera. So I'm just putting it together to make sure everything fits. Okay, and the roof. So it's a matter of deciding, do the inside walls go inset to the front and back walls, or do the front and back walls inset to the side walls? might have to cut a new roof piece. Let me try the inset front and back models. Yeah, our roof is a little too small. So I want the inset sidewalls. When I say inset, I mean the front and back walls overlap the corners, at the corners. Okay. So our roof needs to be like 3 millimeters. And it can be too big. I'd rather be too big. Maybe 6 millimeters longer. I got a gap right here. Okay, and then the whole thing is going to get trimmed so the corners will look like a building. Okay, and nothing's going to get glued together. It's all going to be interlocking pieces. It's going to explode. So, and here's our door. Okay. So, adjust the roof. Chat check. All right, folks, as you're watching, please add your commentary so I have something to talk about. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and make the roof piece longer. We'll get it out of that. It'll be close. Good thing about this stuff is pretty cheap. So make it 112 millimeters. That might do it there. All right, check this again. All right, that's it. Ready for the straps. So at this point we need a base. I'm going to walk over here and go through the scrap pile and find a good base. This might do it. It's got some checking on the end, but we might be able to work around that or work with that. This is cherry. Okay. Okay. Maybe I can watch the for chats on the phone here. Maybe. Okay, there's live. Okay. Like this. Okay, I want the grain to go this way while the outhouse faces the victim. I got these two big checks here. This is jointed wood. That means two pieces of wood that are glued together. It's not such a big deal. But if this isn't the center, then it shouldn't be on there at all. So my choice is to use it as the center and avoid the checks. Actually, the checks would be right on the edges. And I think I'll use this. Oh, I'm going to cut the joint. It's such a nice joint though. I'm going to cut the joint and use this piece. So I will go ahead and do that now. Sorry for getting dizzy. Okay, over here at the bandsaw. The fence. Tension is on. Vacuum cleaner. I'm here at the radial arm saw, just going to square it off here. Over here. Oh, you know what? Totally screwed up and left it on the wrong camera. Sorry about that. Oh, that must suck. Anyway, this is the base. I'm mad at myself for that. Anyway, there's some good sawing going on over there. So here's our base. Outhouse goes on over it. Now we'll switch back over to the overhead camera. Okay, the base, outhouse towards the back. Okay, and then the mousetrap. Let's get into the engineering part of this. Okay, so the door opens this way. The door is going to open this way. So the pulling mechanism comes from the door handle area, which means the trigger mechanism has to be that side. So the mousetrap has to go in this way. Our mousetrap is actually a little too wide, so we're going to have to chop that off for this to fit. Let me do that real quick here. So bear with me on the live stuff. Something I want to do more, and clearly I need more practice at it, but you know, hopefully I get better. Okay, top camera. Okay, so mousetrap's going to fit right in there, and so we're going to need a pencil. So we're going to need some kind of bumper here that sticks out over the mousetrap, so it catches on where this line is. We're going to put a piece of scrap wood here, kind of looks like that, sticks out over the mousetrap. So when that goes up, then everything else needs to go up. So we're going to need a bumper on this wall that interacts with, so try to get this. We're going to need a bumper on the side wall that goes over the top of the back wall bumper, which goes over the mousetrap. Okay, and then I guess we need the same exact thing on the opposite. One there, and one there. Right? That's pretty easy. Not pretty easy. I could. Okay, and then you know what we need are grooves in the base. First of all, the front wall is going to be permanently affixed, so we're going to put grooves. We're going to route grooves into the base, glue in the front, and maybe some braces on the inside hidden, and then grooves that the other walls will fit into. So I think we can go ahead and trace those out right now pretty easily. You know what? This would be kind of easy to do. Put our outhouse at an angle. Okay, no, we already cut the roof though. Some other time, when I have time to design it out, I can make a funny leaning outhouse. Ideas. Ideas are free and easy. Okay, so I'm just going to trace. What I can do is mount the whole thing crooked, but square. That could be interesting, right? And our base itself doesn't have to be square. We can just kind of make it a random shape. What do you think? All right. So I'm going to trace these out. See, this outhouse is a proof of concept. If I really like it, I can get mechanical with it and make it so we can put it on the CNC machine and the laser, and we can just cut everything out with push of a button. And it's just a matter of assembly and decorating. I think something like this could be a pretty good seller on Etsy.
I can't find the songs that easy.
Thank you, Alexa. Okay. So that's our shape. What I can do is get my router out. I don't think I have a 3mm bit. I might. Let me see here. I'm pretty much going to freehand this. Okay, that's going to have to come out. I want to lower my camera. Okay. Hey, match. Okay, I need a new bit. Nope, those are too big. See, when the camera loses me, it goes straight up. It's a 1/4 inch, it might be okay. No place to look. These are the expensive ones. All right, now I need my wrench. There you are. Okay, there's a button on here that lets you, it's basically a brake so you can unscrew your, what is it? Maybe I'll take this off. Oh. There we go. Why am I not finding this? There you are. That button right there. If I push that, it prevents the thing from turning while I unscrew my motor bit. And you just got to turn it the right way. That's what we're going to use to cut out our little indentation for our walls. Okay. Guys, if you're still watching this, I really appreciate it. It's hard to do with no input. So, or it's hard to do with nobody to talk to. Okay. Need to get this lined up right there. Overhang needed for the roof. Yeah, that's very much true. That's going to come from, oh, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna cut a new roof piece. I was thinking just the trim was going to be enough, but yeah, I'm going to cut a new roof piece. So, thank you for that suggestion. Okay. That should be good there. Just need battery. Okay. Should be deep enough. It's a trim router. I am going to freehand it. It ain't pretty. Okay, yeah, so it's going to need to go a little wider, fairly. Pete asked, does it need a grooved base to support the walls? I don't think it needs one, but when you're setting it up, it might be helpful. Yeah, button. There we go. All right. I think if we didn't have a groove base to set up the walls, we need some kind of fence to keep the walls, the bases of the walls set in place. But that kind of solves this problem. Almost fitting here. I realize that the door is going to have to be trimmed a little shorter now because everything is going to be inset. That fits. right. Okay, the front wall's a little tight, but that's good. That's preferred. Okay. So, this is all that's going to be left. Where's the strap? This is all that's going to be left of your exploding outhouse after it explodes. And the door. Need to make a little sign that hangs on here. It says "Do not open" or "occupied," just to make somebody actually open it. Because you do what you're not supposed to, right? Okay. So then these pieces, like that. Here's our mouse trap. Here's our back wall. There we go. It's already trying to blow up. Okay, our mouse trap's still a little too wide, so I'll trim that down. I'm definitely going to make a longer roof to give it this overhang that Pete's talking about. Like that. Yeah, something like that. So, back to the laser. I need a new piece. So this is going now to add another 20 centimeters to it. 132 millimeters. Yeah, like that. Better? I think so. You know what? Jeez. Probably needs overhangs on the sides too. Okay, I'm going to cut it again. 22. No biggie. All right, it says I got 3 people watching. Put in the comments where you're from. I'd like to know where I'm reaching right now. Okay, 3 failed roofs. Not failed, just redesigned anyway. Oh yeah, that's much better. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, it's exactly what we want. Okay, so the next thing we got to figure out is how the walls interlock to each other. Right? So we know how they're going to eject each other. But how are they going to keep from falling away from each other like they have been? So what we need are trim pieces that will glue. Alright, this camera wants to keep on my face, so if I go down here. Okay, so I need a trim piece that's going to glue to the edge of the back wall and lock and keep the side wall from falling away. So that's going to happen. It's going to have to happen to the front and the back walls. And then we need a piece on the inside of the front and back walls to keep the side walls from falling inward. Okay. And in fact, when we put the roof, we're going to have to do a frame on the roof. And that in itself would probably keep everything from falling inward and outward. Yes, it would. So yeah, I just need to make an inner and outer frame on the roof, on the underside of the roof. And then it all fits together and locks each other into place. But I'd still like a frame just for the decorative or trim on the edges, on the corners, just for the decorative purposes. So yeah, I'm going to make those. It should be real simple. Okay, so I'll put this back together and I'll trace the underside of the roof. That'll give me my exterior, yes, my exterior frame. You know, rubber bands would help right now. Okay, hello. Tape this back together. And again, this is something I remember from my childhood that my grandpa had on the top of his TV. Of course, the TVs back then were big cabinets and big display centers. Okay, so there, I'm gonna put the roof here, kind of lined up. Now, I don't think this has to be like perfect. In fact, imperfect in something like this is kind of the goal. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so we need a trim piece all around the edge, and then another trim piece. Probably just make a whole new square and glue it in to the inside. Okay, that's really imperfect. Mission accomplished. I don't know, man. Maybe I do want to square that up a bit. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to cut two pieces, one a frame and one a square, and they're going to be this size. And so I just have to take this same shape that I've already got in there and then cut the rectangles out that represent the walls. So I'll be left with a frame and a square. And I'll glue those to the bottom. Yeah, I was overthinking this. Okay, so back to design. Okay, so I got the square. I'm going to copy and paste that. And I'm going to reduce it by, well, I need these dimensions. So in millimeters, we've got 100, exactly 100 millimeters. And 110 millimeters. Okay. For some reason the back wall is a millimeter wider. So is this one. So 101 millimeters. In a square, so 101 millimeters by 110. Okay. Bear with me just a bit. Okay, so that's the outside frame, and then I need the inner square dimension. which is, I want to make it a little bit loose. So we'll call that 95 millimeters by 102. That. Okay, we're ready to cut another one. Okay, so line up the laser. The holes in the top of the workbench. I'll demonstrate that for you in a second here. Alright, so these dark spots here, where it kind of flared up, that means there was a hard spot or a void inside the plywood, and it didn't cut all the way through, so I'm going to go ahead and run it again. Usually that hard spot comes from a different type of wood, like a knot or a piece of glue. See how it kind of flared up right there? Usually another pass is all it takes. And see how it flares up right there? Another flare up. say. There's just there's a void in the middle ply, and it was like filled with extra glue or something. All right. So yeah, Pete asked what these holes in the workbench are for. I'll show you that here in just a moment. Okay. So we'll switch back to the top camera. Okay, so now I got these two pieces. Here's the roof. So that will go here, and this here. Hopefully that gap isn't too tight. So let's fit it first. And it is a little bit too tight. Yeah, it's perfectly fitting, which is not what we want. But the inside is good. We want a little bit of play there. We don't want it to be fitting too tight that the mousetrap doesn't separate the whole thing. So I'm going to attempt to put it back on the laser and cut it a little thinner. Doing that, separate. Lock that over 101% bigger. Okay. Yep, we'll definitely need to shorten the door. Wanted to swing freely. And the woodpeckers say hi. The woodpeckers are my kid, and well, both my kids. They made a little band, so if you want to go check them out sometime. There's a little smolder. Come on. But so that's all. That's all I just took off there, all around the edge. Oh yeah, much better. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this to the underside of the roof, and this as well. So, super glue is my friend. And so is super glue accelerator. So sometimes super glue dries instantly, sometimes it doesn't seem to dry at all. Unless you touch it, then it dries instantly. But if you add accelerator, it's an instant bond. Okay. all you need. Okay, and then this piece will go on the inside. I think I want to put this on while assembled. We're still a little wet, so I don't want to put it on and then it glues itself to the walls. Okay, we're good there. Okay. All right. So, put it here. Okay, I just want to make sure I get this before it sets. Okay, good. Need to figure out how we're going to hinge the door on there. Okay. So it's a little more wobbly than I'd like it to be. I think once we get the front wall set in place will be good. And the trim on the outsides will help. I think that's what I'll work on now. So we'll do the trim pieces. I'm not going to glue in this yet because I do want to put a nice finish on the base. Okay. Time's it. Wow. Been going at this for a couple hours already. This is fun, right? Okay, while I'm thinking about it, I want to show why these holes are in the bench top. Yep, there it is. Okay, so this is a clamp. I made it so you can take the top clamping piece off. But if I get down low here so you can see. Okay, so if I'm working with a piece that needs to be glued together, or I just need a piece that I can work on without it moving around, I'll clamp it to the bench top. So the L piece will go in from underneath, and then the top piece goes back on. There we go. Just like that. Now, if I get 2 or 3 on, this piece isn't going anywhere. I could work on it with hand tools or with the router. So also, if I'm gluing something up, you want a lot of pressure when you're gluing. So we'll put a good squeeze on it. So that's what that's about. All right, so we'll put the glue away. Trim time. So I will of course laser cut those, and here's my roof. Get my measurement right. On the centimeter side of the ruler, it ends at 30.5 on this edge, and it starts at 1 here after the hole. So you can't put your, so like on the ruler side, it starts at 1. On the inch side, it starts at 1 or 0, but 0 starts here. So if you need to measure something, you can't start it at 0. It's kind of a pain in the butt. So I need a 184 millimeter front trim times 2. So I'll just make a long square. Now we'll make it 1/2 centimeter, so 5 millimeters. So I have 184. Times 2. Copy, paste. Okay, so then on the back wall, $162 millimeters. Copy, paste. That's no good. Okay, so I got 4 trim pieces for the front and back walls. I'll go ahead and glue those on now. All right, who's with me still? That trim is barely enough. Yeah, need to make those wider. Alright. I feel like I should be talking more. Alright, this needs to go to 10 millimeters. Yep. What kind of stuff do you want to see me make on this channel? How often, maybe? Right now I'm just making the trim pieces wider. I made them 5 millimeters, which is half a centimeter, but it just wasn't wide enough. So now I'm going for a whole centimeter and recutting them. Oops. Sometimes I forget to move the camera. Let's see here. Need to figure out how to hinge this door. Gotta go shorter. to account for the groove that we cut. Might do that with a laser. That's two. It can get a little smoky, especially if I keep the door open, which I'm not supposed to. But it's got an exhaust fan that's supposed to be piping it all out the back door, but it doesn't get it all. There we go. Now, I'll glue these to the side, and that'll give me a little edge for the inside wall to lean against, make it a little bit more stable. Again, that's accelerator. It makes for a nearly instant bond on super glue. All right. Now for the back wall. You'll notice I forgot to put accelerator on this, but gluing two pieces of wood together with super glue doesn't usually take too long to bond. So this is actually a pretty simple project, but it never fails. It's always underestimated with how long simple projects take. Never fails. So you'll notice we've been going at this for a while now. Even though we started from the idea phase, went to a very shortened design phase. Now we're just kind of putting stuff together, hoping it works right, having different ideas and suggestions along the way. As soon as I can get coordinated. All right, the front and back walls have trim. Okay. So as far as trim goes, now switch camera. I just want to put trim on the faces of the front and the back. So that way it just kind of completes the picture. But pretty stable, I guess. You can't trip it upside down and it'll fall apart. And not fall apart, but okay, so let me go ahead and run another print job of what I just did. Or cut job, rather. I think it's going to have to be a little shorter, though. A little shorter, a little taller. A little shorter for the back, a little taller for the front to account for the slope. I'm just going to give it and take a millimeter. Okay, so give it a millimeter on the tall ones. Yeah. 185. And 161. All right. We need to show. Yep. Still. Okay, I need some more comments. Anybody who's out there still watching or just joining us, you need to ask, what the heck am I doing? Ask that. Is this something you'd like to see regularly done, like on Saturdays? I think if I were to do it, I'd have to come more with a plan instead of figuring it out along the way. But this is kind of fun too. because the roof needs something done to it to assist in supporting the walls. A couple of some glue drops on the outside of the wall barely hold it in place. So this all has to come apart violently. So I don't think glue is the answer, but I'm not sure. I think we can do another layer of frame. That might help, but I think it stays pretty good, I guess. By the way, Pete, check this out. It's actually a mess up since I overburnt that, but that's the kind of stuff I can do. Okay, so I got my face trimmed. That's going to go there, on the fronts and on the back. Again, thanks to everyone for hanging out with me. Just having fun. Too bad I couldn't pump these out like Bob Ross pumps out paintings. He's always got something to say, had something to say as he made his art. I just feel like I'm just too quiet. So it'd be a lot easier to have like 50 people working in the chat or chatting in the chat, so I could be answering questions or taking ideas. Iowa dried hot glue. I don't know. I think maybe if I made the groove here deeper, it'd be a lot more stable. But there comes a point when you're too stable, you might not get the walls to separate as good when you open the door. And knock off some glue squeeze out here. So, did you move back to Bettendorf, Pete? Or Davenport? By the way, Pete was once my boss back in like 2011, 2012 to 2013. And I built him a standing desk, kind of like a podium thing. All right, so glue. You guys ever watch Adam Savage? Adam Savage's YouTube channel. He's the guy from Mythbusters. He always does these daily, one-day builds. Like every day. I don't know if it's every day, but he's always got a one-day build. And I'm entertained by that kind of stuff. Might be part of the inspiration for doing this. I don't know. But yeah, I'd suggest watching the Adam Savage channel. He's got a way of just working and chatting with the camera that kind of keeps people engaged. Plus he's Adam Savage. Kind of a mythical hero to the maker community. Right. So these pieces that are going on the faces of the front and the back are purely for aesthetics. They're not doing anything structurally or mechanically. I think my chat window thing right here doesn't work. I need to figure out how that's supposed to be working. All right. I'm sure you want to see us get down to making this work, right? I think I need to go a little shorter. I do. So. Suppose I can take the protective plastic off the lens. Okay, that fits. And we'll make the door shorter. Do that. I'll laser that off. quarter door. Great. Okay, now the triggering mechanism. So it's going to go in this way. And so the door, I think the triggering mechanism needs to come across this way as it pulls out. So maybe I don't know if you can see that or not, but maybe I can take this staple and move it to the inside, turn it 90 degrees. Yeah, I think that's an idea I can work with. Okay, just going to pull that staple. Coordination. All right, so now this piece goes like that inside. I'm sure some of you are waiting for my hand to get snapped. That's just mean. But I would also be waiting for somebody to get their hand snapped as well. Okay, so yeah, I think I get an idea. So the door, where's my door? Where's my door? There it is. Okay, the door is going to have a little step on the bottom that holds down the trigger. And when you swing that door open, it removes that step from the trigger, releasing our explosive mousetrap. Okay, that's a concept. Let's go with it. So I think at this point I'll probably go ahead and screw in the mousetrap. You know, let's see here. Yep, it's going to go right there. Okay, so I can take off some more of this mousetrap. I don't think you're fitting too good. Okay, yep, I'll do that. This video's getting really long, isn't it? Kind of knew it would. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and screw this in. Drill a pilot hole. Don't need my trim router up here anymore. Need the battery. Here. Screws. A little long. I need that thing. Okay, that's in there good. Okay, now on the back wall, and spring this. Yes. Okay. Looks like we kind of got some glue on the side walls. Right now I'm reestablishing where the bumper on the back wall needs to be. Okay. So it actually needs to go here. We got these scrap pieces here I can now use. I think I'll make some new ones, specifically this size. So it's going to be shorter because the sidewalls need to go inside the trim. So I will go 90 millimeters. Copy paste. Okay, lots of steps. Once I get like a whole design done, I can combine so many of these steps into one motion, and I could probably get one of these done made in about an hour. But right now we're just going through the whole concept and experimenting. But other things I can be considering the whole time I'm doing this is, like, you know, an outhouse was made of planks, so I could actually make a plank design and burn that design into the sides, so it looks kind of like a planked outhouse. Or I could actually make a planked building with individual planks. I've got a lot of potential that I could do with a laser. So I got these 90 millimeter bits here. My thought was to just glue it to the back wall in a stack of two. I got that bumper that the mousetrap can catch on as it is released, and it's going to launch the back wall up, and we're going to make bumpers that interlock from the side walls with each side of these, and the side walls will lift as well, and of course the roof will go with everything. So back to the super glue. Okay, that's one. Be a little low on my super glue here. Of course, I've got fresh ones ready to go in package. All right. Okay. Let that dry for just a second. Some cold coffee. All right. Let's see if it fits. Let's change the camera. Okay. So the back wall is on. I don't know, should I let it go? Okay. So that shot up pretty high. I expect with the weight of all the other pieces, it won't be that explosive. But the proof of concept has proven itself to work. So now let's add the sides. Let's see how those bumpers are going to work. Okay. That goes on. I really think I need like a brace on the inside. It would help in the assembly anyway. But the roof will provide bracing enough on its own. Okay, so now I need a bumper on the side wall that engages with the bumper on the back wall. So that's pretty easy. I can just cut some more. Oh yes. You know, it'd be kind of funny because you can put the actual one-holer or two-holer right here. I don't know. We'll think about it. Okay. I will now run that same cut job again. And have two more bumpers. All right, so anyone out there YouTube land watching? All right, two more bumpers. One on the sidewalls. Just need to mark it where it needs to go. Right there. And Bumper number 1. Okay. Suppose I could put that on square with measurements, but I don't know. I just feel like there shouldn't be any measurements on an outhouse. And this one. Okay, let's go for another assembly and a test. Okay, back wall. Side wall. Side wall. What the heck, let's go for a roof too. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Perfect. It's exactly what I want to happen when somebody opens the door. Now, just got to work on, well, actually, I need to get this door hinged in here. So which way does the moon go? Really, probably like this. So this is my door. So, a couple options. I could wire the hinges in. I don't know. Get an actual hinge. Maybe I have a hinge over here. That'd be pretty small. Oh boy. Let me go dig around a little bit first. You don't want to see the ceiling, do you? Alright. Still got me? Good. Got this. Hinge, looking for a hinge. Let me see here. I don't think I have a hinge. I might have to get creative. No, that's not a hinge. Too much stuff, not enough space. Okay. So, another option. So the door actually has to be sturdy if it's going to be holding the weight of the mousetrap spring. I think I have a solution right now. Let's see. Problem solving 101. Any ideas for what could be a good way to hinge a door without a hinge? I'm afraid I just might have to get a hinge. I mean, I could craft one on a laser, but now we're getting into a little too much time. I think you get bored. Yeah, I gotta buy a hinge. I want the hinge to be hidden on the inside, so I have to get the right hinge. And then the actual release mechanism. So I guess I can work on that for now. So let's go to the top camera. Okay, we're pretty cluttered here. Right, release mechanism. Okay, door, hinged. So, I think what I need, let's see here. Well, I got a bit of a distance here between the end of the mousetrap release lever, I guess. I don't know what you call it, and the actual door. Problem is there's a lot of upward tension here, and if I just used a piece of wood, that would probably be a lot of tension that puts up against the door and against the actual bond that would be glued to the door. So I could probably do that. Yeah. Might work. So the distance between looks like 20 centimeters would do it. So let me draw this out here. So looking at it from the side, here's the front wall and the door. Here's the floor, mousetrap. And here's the here's the release trigger, and it goes kind of like this, except not as long. So I need something that's basically L-shaped, or even a block. It's not going to matter, it's on the inside. It looks like this, but I need a really good bond right here. So when the door opens, this pulls away and releases the trigger, like that, making the mousetrap go like that, making the whole building go boom. So let me try that. I need a piece that's 20 centimeters long, and I guess L-shaped. Okay, back to the computer. Okay. So I'll make a square over here. I guess I'll just talk you through it. Make a square that is really long, maybe so it's going to be 20 centimeters wide, 20 millimeters wide, and I guess we'll just make it 50 millimeters tall. I'll make 2 of those and 1 shorter, and I will glue them all together. So let me go copy, paste. There's 2. And now I need another one that's a bit shorter, which will go in the middle. And we'll call that 48. Okay. Put those all there. So I'll show you exactly what I'm working with here in about 15 seconds. Okay, so I got these 3 rectangles, one of them shorter, so I'll put that in the middle of the sandwich, and I will make the tops all flush. And now I've got this this sandwich with a notch in the bottom, so I'll glue all these together. but first I'll just show you. So I'll put that on the bottom of the door, and the trigger will rest inside that notch. And hopefully I'll have a good enough glue bond to the door that it's not going to rip off. Anybody out there watching in YouTube land? Normally on weekends I'm in here working. I've usually got a paying job that somebody's waiting for. In fact, I've got 5 projects that I should be doing right now, but sometimes you just got to step away and do stuff you actually enjoy. I actually enjoy making stuff, but I don't actually have many of my own creations in my own collection. So I want to be able to open this completely without it interfering with the sidewall. With the frame, actually. Okay, so I want this to be really exactly flush. It's not quite flush, so I'm going to take it over to the sander and just grind that all down to the same flushness, if that's a word. Flushness. No sweat. Okay. I'm looking at a full bottle of glue down there, but we got this one. Okay. Okay, so now I got this little notch that the trigger piece should fit right into. And what do you know? It's not long enough. You know what I could do though to solve that problem? I can move my staple over. But it holds it, but it wants to lift. I think a good hinge or a decent hinge and the door frame will keep it in place. And then when you open the door, just like that. Yeah, so darn it. And I could also add more material. I think I'll move my trigger. Right there. All right, I'm gonna try to left-hand hammer here. All right, let's try this again. There we go. Yes. That's it. Man, I just need a hinge. Is there anything I can take a hinge off of? No. Yep. So that's what it's going to take is a hinge. Alright. So let's test this out again. Oh, I can do some more thinking on having the holes. I don't know if it's necessary. I don't know what purpose or utility it would serve. right, there it is. Let's see here. Right, follow me, camera. Okay, so I just need a hinge, and then the front wall will get glued in, and then all we have to do is, oh, we need a door handle, something that's easy to grab for big fat fingers. So yeah, we open the door. So that's how it works, and it works. At this point, yeah, it's just a matter of decorating it how you want it to. I'm thinking that I'm going to make the base roughed up some, not square, and I think with a little more designing, I can make the walls so they're made of slats, or look like they're made of slats. You know, put little wood grain in the slats and knots, and make it look like just, you can do so much with that machine. Make it look like boards are missing, so it's just like a black burned void. The same with the roof. I think I could do like trim underneath the soffits. That would kind of complete the picture. Or I could actually do like, what do they call the board and batten? So like you've seen those houses with the trim boards, and then there's the thin trim that goes over the joints where the two planks come together. So we can do that all the way around. So yeah, there's a ton of different things that you can do. I would want to actually take a design and make an outhouse that looks kind of skewed. So like the bottom is skinnier than the top, so it kind of goes up and leans and twists. So I think that'd be something that I will try to work on. And so this is basically just a proof of concept. I already know the concept works because my grandpa had it and I played with it before, like when I was little, all the time. Every time I go over there, that'd be the first thing I'd do is go open the door. Not sure how many times I got my little fingers snapped, but I think I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go to Lowe's. I'm going to buy a hinge. I'm going to complete the project off camera. And if you're still with me, I'm amazed because it is now 1:30 and I started at 10, so it's been going 3.5 hours. Like I said earlier, if I have a completed design all set and ready to go, I can get this thing done in probably under an hour, plus the decoration part. So the finishing and the little details always takes a little longer. But this was fun for me. I don't know how much fun for you it was. I know that Pete stayed with me for a while, and yeah, this is not the kind of entertainment that is for everyone, but it's okay if you pop in now and then throughout the whole process. That's good. I'm thankful for all attention when it comes to this. Yeah, so let me know if this is something I should do on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. I think in the future I will come with a plan already in place and a design already in place. But yeah, I'm trying to build this channel. This is kind of where I'm going with the future after the Army and I retire in like 240 or less days. I want to make the business of making. I think if I can do this every day for the rest of my life, when I wake up, head out to the shop, make something, I'll be happy. So yeah, go ahead, like, subscribe, and this is not typical of the normal videos you'll find on this channel. I do a lot more production-based stuff. So yeah, so feel free to follow me and make big comments and everything, and I appreciate it all. Powerful.